Come on, dog. Do I even have to do it at this point? You know what? I'll do it anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Woodward Sports brings to you its Woodward Sports Tag Team Champions of the motherfucking world, JBKG. It is Woodward Ringside.
Let's do it.
What up, though? Hey, appreciate y'all tapping in with these episodes, man. We've been seeing the love pouring in. We absolutely appreciate that, man. So become a member of Woodward Sports. You will get these episodes when they drop exclusively, and peep for that weekend content, man. We're going to be providing y'all some prediction shows and just different live streams. So we try and look out for our free people as well. But Jay Bizzle, how are you on this fine Thursday morning?
I'm doing good. All I got to say is, main event KG and JB are in your city.
Yeah. It's just us, Oos. Hey. But a lot of stuff to talk about on kind of a slow week.
Real slow week, but it was entertaining. I'll say that.
A lot of it came within the last 24 hours.
A lot came in 24 hours. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I guess what I wanted to kick off the show today with is because we didn't talk a lot of WWE last week because we leaned into AEW, and we do got some AEW stuff because
the pay-per-view. Yeah.
We got to touch on that spot from last night. That shit was insane.
Oh, good Lord,
insane! I don't even know how Mox does that shit, but anyway,
you a sick fuck, Mox. You a sick fuck, man.
Anyway, we'll get into that, and of course we are going to break down the John Cena promo. It's going to be a big meat of the episode because I think me and JB might have different opinions on
different page with this.
We might, man. And listen, I'm not coming from it from a standpoint of hate. It's more so of just what my expectations of it was and just what didn't get met. Okay. That's all. That's all. But I'm still giving it time to breathe. John Cena a heel now. It's a big deal. So trust me, we're going to break it down. But to start off the show, I was kind of surprised about it. Well, I won't say surprised, but the fact that the switch up has been this quick on Jey Uso. It's unbelievable. Did you see the image that was posted last night? I had to go literally look this up again.
Yeah,
so
I guess show it to me again.
So during Monday Night Raw, he did, to come out and beat up the heel spot.
That match was very short, by the way.
Yeah, it was a very short
2
match.
minutes.
And he tried to, the crowd dive. Well, not the crowd dive. He tried to dive over the top rope. His foot got hung on the rope. It kind of didn't look good. A lot of people was comparing it to the flop dollar dive, and I'm like, it's a little extreme because Jey Uso is normally money with the outside dive.
He just got caught. It was a bad day. It was a bad night.
I mean, things happen, but nonetheless, he stood tall at the end, which is them just building up the rivalry. But on YouTube, this stands at 13,000. Well, I don't know if this is the current numbers, but this is the numbers that they posted last night.
Oh yeah,
13,000 likes on that video of him, just going in and shutting down Gunther, but 61,700 dislikes. That is crazy to me.
What are we doing?
And listen, I know people had questions about, was Jey Uso the right pick to win the Royal Rumble? Oh, I wouldn't have had him go over Cena in that spot. I thought at the time, this was good for Jey Uso because he's somebody that is needed a push for a very, very long time. He's over with the crowd. I understand his in-ring ain't the most polished, but he is somebody that provides entertainment. He's somebody that is over with the fans, and y'all done put him in these big spots and haven't really showed him no love. I mean, they did give him the IC title for a hot second.
Yeah.
That was short-lived, but now you got him in the world title picture going against Gunther, who a lot of people, I'm a fan of Gunther, but a lot of people are critical of his title reign and just the style of wrestler that he is, which I can understand that. He ain't for everybody. He ain't everybody's cup of tea. He's more of an old relic, I've called him. But to see this level of just rebelling against Jey Uso, that is crazy. What's your thoughts on that, bro? Because I know you're a big Jey Uso guy.
I am a big Jey Uso guy, if you couldn't tell by the t-shirt. Main event Jey Uso there. I kind of got a theory about this I want to throw your way as well, too, because the past couple of weeks, everyone's just kind of been down on Jey Uso, and hell, he's been down on himself as well, too. I know I brought this up to you yesterday, but the third man that we're supposed to be anticipating from, The Rock and Cena, this whole heel change, do you think it could quite possibly be Jey? Jey could slide in there just because over the past couple of weeks he has been down on himself, and as you see these numbers as well too, hell, some of the fans have been down on him as well either. Could he just quite simply make himself known and take a shot and go over to the final boss's side and get everything that he's wanted?
I won't rule it out. However, he is so over with the fans right now.
That's my thing too. The crowd loves it. That's why I don't understand these numbers. Like, how can you hate this?
I don't know. I think people are just down on the rivalry, period. And this is a problem that you're seeing with both of the world title pictures in terms of the World Heavyweight Championship and the Women's World Heavyweight Championship.
Okay.
Gunther and Jay, it just kind of seemed like you going through the motions. We already kind of know that Gunther's probably dropping the title. If you keep the title on Gunther, I wouldn't be mad at it, but a lot of people are critical of just like this run is boring right now. It's not really nothing exciting. I think it's just because of a lack of opponents, but we got to be real about it. His biggest rivalry to this point has been Damian Priest, and those matches were good, but they weren't anything like lasting. It wasn't anything that left it, kind of on your brain like, oh, I want to see that.
You want to see more.
Yeah, and with Jey Uso, like I kind of like the idea of him maybe turning heel and maybe freshening it up. You couldn't do that until WrestleMania. Like, it would have to be literally in their title match where he makes that decision. And then just, I don't know, he's so over with the fans, dog. I don't know if you want to turn him heel right now. Because I just don't think it would be clean. He was a heel before with the bloodline. He's been great as a face, as a baby face, but I just don't know if the timing is right with that. I wouldn't oppose it, but
yeah, like I said, I wouldn't throw it out the idea, but like as you said before, he's so over with the fans. He comes down the crowd, everyone's yeeting. Like, it's a moment. It's a big moment. The whole arena is just taken over and captured by them just yeeting this whole entire time and him making himself to the ring. I mean, hell, the entrance takes like, 5-6 minutes just to get all the way through. But
he's kind of like Kofi Mania and the Daniel Bryan thing, but except it's not forced. Like, when those happened, WWE was forced because the fans rebelled to a point that was just like, all right, we got to kind of give them what they want. We got to bend to their will. Even Vince was like, all right, fuck it. Like, we got to give them what they want.
Fuck it.
So I kind of worry in that aspect because once Jay, I'm just going to continue to say it, Jay's going to be world champion. Once he wins the world championship, what does that landscape look like for him? Because you already have kind of booked yourself into a corner on Raw in terms of competitors for the World Heavyweight Championship. I assume you taking Gunther out of that picture, at least for the moment. Who the hell you going to pair him against?
That's tough. That is tough because I don't see anyone on the roster right now where it's like, I want to see Jey Uso versus such and such or whoever.
It's like you're going to give him this title reign, but you're not doing them no favors. Like, you're setting them up to have a pretty shitty title run if there's no credible opponents for him. And I know they can do some shakeups after WrestleMania.
Yeah, we
might get a draft or something. I know they kind of doing like the transfer window shit right now, kind of like soccer, but I don't know, dog. It's a shame because Jey Uso has worked like very, very hard. I loved him going over at the Rumble. I thought at the time it was the right decision to kind of give somebody that you weren't expecting, to be in that spotlight. And he's so over that I thought that, okay, it could work just based off the fact that the fans love him right now, but it's not appearing that way.
And I will say this as well too, Jay going over at the Rumble, winning the Rumble is on one of the top 5 lists of the most disliked videos on YouTube as well too.
And then you get this Raw segment that's 61,000 dislikes, and it's like, damn, was it that bad? Yeah, I didn't think it was, but I can understand the fans that aren't fully on board with this just yet.
And that's sad.
Yeah, it is sad because, like I said, Gunther and Jay are the victims in this. Gunther is somebody, once again, who has worked very, very hard to get to the spot that he's at. And it's a shame that his IC title run was way more memorable than the world title run. Like, while he was IC champion, we all had dreams of, okay, when Gunther gets the world title, like, it is over with. Like, but they just have not really booked him the right way, bro. They kind of had him doing the insecure shit for a minute, and then he got out of that, but it's just been a lot of the same, and I can't blame fans that ain't fully on board, although, I'm a big Gunther guy, and I would love to see it continue going, but yeah.
I would love to see Gunther continue going, but if Jay does get this title, or when Jay does get this title, you guys have to shake it up. You have to do something different. This can't just be another locker room fight type of guy. If anything, try to do mix it up with TNA. You're hooked up with TNA for a reason. Let some of their superstars come over here and mix it up. Just be different.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not mad at that at all. And to move on to our next house show, I like to call them house show headlines, just some real quick hitters. AEW Dynamite last night. So we got our rematch between Mox and Copeland for the AEW World Championship in a street fight. And we all know how a lot of Jon Moxley matches go. It's going to be a lot of blood. It's going to be a lot of just violence, weapon play. Like, it's going to be a lot of bullshit involved. And this was no different. It was a street fight that was kind of expected. But what was unexpected?
Oh, my God.
And listen, AEW... I gotta give them credit, bro. Just when you think that, okay, they done set the bar in terms of like brutality and shit like that, they do find ways to up it one more notch. That the barbed wire, it wasn't a bat, but it was more like a paddle.
Yeah, it was like a 2x4.
Yeah,
or something
and it wasn't barbed wire. I said barbed wire. It's nails.
It was nails somehow sticking out of the 2x4 in all different kind of directions. Oh. Ridiculous, like.
So
I don't even know how you come up with this as a weapon, but go ahead.
It was pretty nasty, but Cope gets it. They did the little, I'm about to hit on spot and miss, but Cope ends up getting it back, and he hits him once in the stomach that looked pretty nasty, and then the kill shot was the one across the back in which the weapon got stuck in his fucking back. And Wheeler Yuta comes out there for the save. He's trying to pull it out his back, can't do it. He gets the referee, hey, work on this while I take care of Cope. The referee struggles to pull it out his back.
That was hard to watch,
man. It was oh my God. Like I gotta give him credit from the aspect of they gave me some shit that I didn't think I would see. So
I just want to know whose idea was it for this spot. I believe it's Moxley, but like, if Cope was like, "Hey, we should try this. What do you think?" and Moxley's like, "Yeah, let's do it."
I mean, Cope is, he's of the extreme, variety as well. So
take it back to that flaming table at WrestleMania, Mick Foley.
Edge is known to do extreme spots. Should he be doing this many at this stage of his career?
No,
probably not. But we saw the same shit with Sting. Sting was damn near out there giving his life, in the last leg of his AEW run. It was to be expected, but I saw a lot of the online kind of backlash from it, and a majority of this I will chop up to maybe just a lot of these people are WWE fans and they don't really subscribe to the AEW product, but it was a lot of, was this too much? Was this crossing the line? Wrestling doesn't really need extreme spots like this. What's your feelings on it? Because AEW, we know they known to do shit like this. We were at All Out last year where Swerve took a fucking steroid syringe to the cheek. So yeah, we've seen AEW do this shit before. But what do you think?
I think it's the different audience that you have right now. Because before, we all would love it. We were from that ECW era where it's like hardcore, extreme. Like, we want to see tables, we want to see chairs, we want to see ladders, we want to see all of this. And now it's like they've kind of upgraded their extreme factor a little bit to where it's like, all right, we're going to do this big spot, but then nothing else for like a great long period of time. Whereas ECW, you got this week after week after week after week. So now I think it's just with the audience that they have now, it's like maybe they're a little too squeamish of some of the things that they're doing right now.
Do you think the WWE like PG era maybe affected that a little bit and how fans view like hardcore wrestling?
A little bit. Just a little bit, just because like we're used to, back then we were used to a certain type of extreme, whereas this is like you're causing serious bodily harm now. Like I don't know how you're making it to the back and not just limping all the way there.
Yeah, and want to stay for the record, like Mox and Cope, they are like seasoned veterans. Like
they
if they agree to do this spot, right, then they kind of know what they're doing, and I leave it to them. But like you said, you don't want to see any like major, because they leaned it into, okay, this could really like get nasty. Like if he had landed any further down, maybe looking at a spine injury, like that shit could have went south. You doing a suplex on a weapon like that, shit could go south.
The ring does give a little bit of bounce to it as well too, but it's not going to completely cover you from taking injuries.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the shit was literally in his back. Like you saw the holes once they pulled it out. It was nasty stuff. And kind of alluding to what you said, I feel like there is a place for this, because I love AEW. Some of the booking, I question at times, and just the consistency. But overall, I like that we have an alternative product, because WWE was so fucking watered down for so long.
They saturated the market.
I was dying for wrestling of this nature that wasn't kind of like indie wrestling. And, I wanted a more upscale promotion that gave us shit like this. And that's what AEW has done. my only criticism is that maybe they do it kind of often now. I would say maybe tone it down a little bit. Maybe save it for like pay-per-view matches, and save spots like that for like really special occasions, because AEW, you gonna book yourself into a corner to where, okay, like, how do we top this? And that's where it kind of seems like it's going, because like I said, when they do one thing, you think, okay, they can't get more extreme than that. Then they come with the next thing, maybe like 2 weeks later, and it's like, God damn. But I don't know long term, like, I feel like you hurt yourself booking wise if you don't spread these out a little more and make them mean a little bit more, make them more special.
But counter to that, do you think it's because they see WWE, they see that like this is the top of the mountain, so it's like, hey, we kind of gotta outdo every single show and give them this type of extreme to get the views, to get the audience, to get the people paying for stuff like this? Because the last premium live event AEW had, there was like 2 matches that was just completely just blood everywhere. Yeah. And then you fast forward now to this week, and it's once again more of that same.
No, it's a little bit of that, absolutely, because they have to compete. And AEW is offering a contrasting product from WWE. Although WWE is starting to lean back into being a little more edgy and stuff like that, they still not all the way there yet. As opposed to AEW,
they're dipping their toe in it. I like to say.
No, but AEW has embraced it from the jump in terms of just hardcore wrestling. Different styles of wrestling, like New Japan style and stuff like that. They incorporate everything, and they've been at the forefront of, okay, we gonna lean into this shit. And whether you like it or not, it is what it is, and there's a sector that loves this stuff. But that would be my only critique. And listen, y'all can say what y'all want about Jon Moxley. I know he isn't the most technical. Some of his matches aren't the most appealing. Yeah. But y'all got to give him credit, bro. He goes out there.
He gives it his all every single
He
match.
lays his body on the fucking line. And I'm not a big fan of just what they doing with the Death Rider story right now. But y'all got to give him credit for just going out there and consistently putting his body on the line and providing some entertainment. Because one thing you can't say is that his matches aren't entertaining. Yeah. They may not be what you want them to be, but they are most definitely entertaining.
I have to agree.
Yeah, no, definitely. But shout out to them for pulling that spot off. I hope he's all right.
I hope he's all right, too. Driving 11 hours just to get to this show.
Yeah, that was another thing. He drove through a blizzard.
Through a damn blizzard in Omaha, Nebraska right now. And a lot of wrestlers somehow didn't show up or were trying to drive there last minute as well, too, because of the storm. So shout out to them for at least making it and making it a show.
Nah, big facts, big facts. But the big one, John Cena's promo, and I wanted to make sure we had enough time to really break this down. But tell me what your thoughts of the promo was, and just, I know like this week they're gonna, we're expected to have another Cody John Cena face off in the ring, I guess promo face off. Just give me your thoughts on what the first initial John Cena promo. What did you think of it?
I told you before, this first promo initially coming back after the whole heel turn, it needed to hit. It needed to be big, and it needed to absolutely go. I was hoping for, new entrance music, new wrestling gear and attire, but you got nothing. You got nothing but the same John Cena. He came to the ring and he told you, like, you were expecting this. Guess what? I'm not giving it to you. I don't care what you think right now. Yeah. I personally, I loved it. You needed to start off this promo and his heel run kind of hot. I think this gave it to you. It was a good start, a good jumping off point. Obviously, I want to see it build on a lot more from here. The segment took damn near half an hour to get through. That's why a lot of the matches on Raw got cut a little bit shorter than what they were supposed to. Cody coming down at the end, I feel like kind of interrupted everything. If anything, you probably should have just left it open-ended for John just to get his thoughts out, and then, you know what, maybe somewhere in the back venue you see them getting it on, like, fighting out a little bit. But personally, the first initial thought, I loved it. I loved it.
If you had to give it a letter grade,
I'll give it a B+.
Okay.
B+. I'm not doing an A, but B+.
All right. So
what about you?
I just want to start from the standpoint that it's not complete hate for me. I'm not shitting on it completely.
Oh, no.
However, like, this is basically, and listen, y'all can tear me apart in the comments, whatever. This is just my opinion of what my expectations were, and just what I thought would happen that didn't happen. And once again, they doing another promo this week coming up, so I know it's going to be built on. But, he came out And he was kind of doing the reverse Cena, just lazily walking to the ring with the puppy dog eyes and shit like that. Yeah, they're right. D-Mac doing a perfect imitation right now. I wish we could put the camera on it. But man, it was yeah. Go ahead, walk through that shot. Give him the John Cena, D-Mac. So Cena he comes down, and I felt like the promo got off to a slow start.
Well, that's because the crowd was just a hot one overseas. There, you got chants going you suck, Cena.
Yeah, no, the crowd played their part.
Cena sucks. Like what?
And I like that they do these type of promos with international crowds. Not to say a U.S. crowd wouldn't have been hot for that, but international just give you a different energy. Like, because they not used to that. But shout out to them. They played their part, like, excellently throughout this whole promo.
And he waited. He was like, I can stand here for as long as you want.
Yeah. But no, it kind of got off to a slow start. And not to say that he wasn't in it or anything, but it kind of felt like, all right, he's trying. Like, he really wants to nail this. He wants it to be perfect. And I felt like
he was focusing a little too hard.
Yeah, like you could tell, like, all right, you felt that energy from him. Like, I gotta nail this. And there were parts of it that kind of seemed a little not genuine. Okay. Because he's been a babyface for so long, this is new territory for him. And once again, this is coming maybe 15 to 17 years too late.
Too late, yes.
But we are getting it now, so I get that he's trying to get into it and all that. But I just felt like it started off slow. Now, once he got into it, it was fine. And once you go back and watch it, it's kind of like, all right, I can see what they were trying to do, pretty much blaming the fans. Like, no, y'all want me to change my theme song. Y'all want me to come out with this new gimmick. I ain't giving you none of that shit. Like, y'all got to pay for pretty much all the shit that y'all put me through all these years of just being, the face of the company. But I felt like that was the wrong approach. Like, should the fans have been involved in the promo? Absolutely, because the fans are a big part of John Cena's like rise throughout the years. But I just felt like the majority of the promo should have been geared towards legacy, because this is all for the world championship at WrestleMania and him being 17-time world champion, which is the most world championships of any wrestler ever. He would beat Ric Flair's record of 16. So that's a big deal. And that is a majority of why he did the heel turn. He's doing that in order to get the championship. So I thought he would speak more to his legacy and just, I did this because, for so long the company pushed me to be this bad guy. I mean, the company pushed me to be this good guy in this face and, the Make-A-Wish kids and all that. And deep down, I wasn't really vibing with that shit. And the more that my success grew, the more that y'all kind of turned against me. I thought it would be leaning more into that. And then you bring up the fans part of it and saying, yeah, y'all was championing it, this shit, but y'all ended up turning on me.
What's up, Neil?
Quick question.
Yeah.
Is this whole John Cena thing because the movie career's washed now? Is that why he's jumping back in, because it's over?
No.
Well, he's working on a role right now in between these promos.
I wouldn't say his movie.
Well,
the ball spot would tell you otherwise, but
hey, the ball spot is covered up now. He's straightened it down.
I don't think he's completely washed yet, but he's doing something that like WWE has never done before, like a farewell tour. They've never done that for any wrestler ever. So I think he genuinely just wants to be part of the business again and go out like with a last good run. But I wouldn't say he's completely washed. However, but back to the prom. No, you good.
Yeah.
No, I understand you have questions. I like that you have questions. But yeah, so I just thought that it would lean more into legacy, and the fact that the whole promo was strictly about the fans and their part of it. I kind of thought that was a mistake, and he kind of sounded whiny after a certain point. He sounded
it did get to that whiny bitch.
Yeah, like he had no edge. Like I was expecting it to be a little edgier. Like he sounded like a 12-year-old fucking kid rebelling against his parents. Like that's what it kind of gave me, bro. And like I said, they can build on it from here, and I'm not completely shitting on it, but just that wasn't the approach that I would have taken if I was booking it. Like I would have had him come out there a little more aggressive, a little more pissed off, and won the legacy, and then lean into the fans part of it. But Cody coming out, I won't say it saved the promo, but I thought it added to what John Cena was doing. Now, my only problem with the Cody part of it is, all right, let's say you beat my ass with my own Rolex, and in 2 weeks' time when I see you again,
Travis Scott wasn't there, so
right. But still, like John Cena did a majority of the ass whooping. So even if it's been 2 weeks,
after the still be pissed off.
Yeah, like you would think, right? Like I'm still gonna want to harm you in some way. Like I'm literally still rocking the bruise on my face for the last 2 weeks of you beating my ass in front of thousands of people.
And that's why I wanted some kind of backstage brawl of like Cody seeing Cena, coming back from Gorilla and just attacks him right then and there. Boom. All right, that's your heat right there.
Yeah, like I just thought like, and I understand you don't want to give it all away. They got to do a 5 to 6 week build to the match. So I understand if you don't want to have
30 days away from Mania.
Yeah, like I understand that you don't want to have them just go out there and beat each other like to a pulp. I get that. You need to save something, but. Yeah, he could have smacked him. He could have did something. Like he should have came out a little more aggressive. He was just a little too calm for me, considering the type of ass whooping he incurred on like national television. Like they literally beat his ass with his own Rolex, beat him bloody. Like, and that was kind of crazy to me. But overall, I thought like he provided a little more edge to the promo itself. He came out there, pretty much came at Cena and, it just, all this is bullshit. And, he called him a bitch at one point. And, it got the juices flowing and you are excited to see where they go with it next. But overall, I would have to give this promo a C.
C, oh, damn.
Like I said, I'm not trying to completely shit on it for what it was. We are going to get more, especially this week. But I thought Cena should have been way more aggressive, bro, and it kind of disappointed me just seeing like the route that they're taking. It just seems like it's just going to be all about the fans, and that's the reason. And listen, this is exactly why I told you that this heel turn is not lasting long. Like, and if that promo didn't tell you anything, that should tell you right there. Like his heart is not all the way in being a heel.
I was gonna say it seems like he's conflicted a little bit, and at the same time, it doesn't seem natural for him to just be this heel type of person. I think he was so happy being the baby face John Cena,
for him.
Even though he said, "I'm not a heel, I'm not a baby face, I'm a human being." Like,
and this is why back in the day, this would have worked way better because one, he was in the prime of his career.
Yes.
Two, he had everything planned out. He had the music. He had the type of heel turn he wanted to do. Everything was planned. It just got shut down by Vince. But like this kind of felt, I won't say it was rushed or like lazily put together, but
forced to like form this angle.
It seemed like it wasn't a ton of time put into this, and this is kind of the result that you got from that. Now hopefully just from here they can build on it.
Yes.
And that's what I'm hoping for. I hope it gets a little more edgy. I hope they start leaning into a little more violence with the overall shit, because it's supposed to be bad blood right now, and I get that this is babyface of this generation versus babyface of the old generation, but y'all got to put a little more heat on it in order to get me like fully excited for that WrestleMania match. But it's gonna be a good match. I have no doubt. Like Cena's been training. I'm sure he's gonna go out there and put on a good show. I doubt we see him in the ring until WrestleMania.
No, you're not getting a match until Mania.
Yeah, I don't think so with Cena at this point. But not bad for a first start. I just expected more.
Yeah, like I said, it's a good jumping off point. I want more, leading up to these weeks towards WrestleMania as well too, and maybe he can lean into the championship a little bit more. The titles held and everything that a lot more. Maybe this one wasn't this week just for the fans, like a big FU to them. Yeah,
and I get that, but Cena's a heel now. I'll just go continue to say,
Cena's a heel
he's a heel now, man. So we gonna see what this shit hitting for. But that was the big news. Was there anything on Raw? The one thing I wanted to bring up, and like I was saying earlier, they have a World Heavyweight Championship problem in the men's and the women's division. Because they did the contract signing for Iyo Sky and Bianca Belair. Rhea comes out, interrupts, signs the contract like that's
we've seen this before.
Yeah, like that's legally possible.
Yeah.
And I heard that on the contract she wrote white privilege. Like, and if she did, that's hilarious. Shout out to Rhea Ripley. That's fire. But
that's funny.
Overall, that's not how contracts work, bro. This contract was suited for two people. They got to like change the whole wording and everything. But it's a WWE contract signing spot. We know what that is. But the fact that they keep disrespecting Iyo Sky, like the face mushing.
She just mushed the fuck out.
Like, I don't like that, dog. I don't.
Get the fuck out my face.
And you know that I'm big on Iyo Sky. I thought she should have won the women's Rumble because what the fuck? We haven't seen Charlotte since the Rumble. What the fuck is she doing? Don't get me started on her. I'm going against two Queen defenders in here, but it's just like, man, what y'all could have put? Y'all could have gave somebody else that.
Queen just takes time.
For what? Take time for what?
She just needs time. I mean, let's be honest. The knee is not fully healed completely.
Then why the fuck is she involved in a major storyline?
To sell tickets for WrestleMania. That's
y'all
all
could have sold it with two up and coming talents. Like, and what the thing that really bugs me about it is that they're probably going to give her the win over Tiffany. Like, if you're going to have her going to the Mania match, have her put over Tiffany, and then if you want to do a longer rivalry after that, fine. But, like, y'all, you just going to crush Tiffany on the biggest stage after she just won the title 2 months ago. I'm not rocking with that.
I feel like it's just a match that they can automatically just pencil in. They don't have to worry about it anymore. Like, because their bigger focus is probably on this right now.
Yeah.
Cena, Rock, Cody.
Of course, but that's just bad booking in turn, at least to me. And like I said, this is no like outright disrespect to the queen. I respect her resume. It's just I don't like that she pops up, she gets these opportunities, and now we're not even seeing her in promos. We're not even seeing her in the ring. She was nowhere involved in the Elimination Chamber.
She'll do one thing here and there.
Yeah, like that tag team match at Chamber with the women was useless. What was it for? Yeah. Hey, call it what you will, man. But call it what you will. But yeah, the face mushing of Iyo Sky, and I just think like y'all should be
so much disrespect for her. Obviously, she's gonna get her get back eventually.
I guess, but you already are like they position in a triple threat, right?
Yeah,
and you already going against two women that are just in stature
more
bigger and better than you. You know, she's probably the best technical wrestler if you want to be technical about it, but you can make that argument for Rhea and Bianca that they are both technically sound in the ring, but she has no real advantage, at least from a visual standpoint. She's going against two very big, powerful women. Like, she's kind of like the Rey Mysterio of the group.
Don't sleep on Rey Mysterio, though.
The fact that she's world champion right now, I just feel like y'all got to give her a little more respect. Back-to-back weeks, like the face mushing the first time was, all right, that was, I can rock with it, but back-to-back weeks of just doing that, and then she takes the power bomb through the table. Like, she has not stood tall in any way, shape, or form, and it's starting to feel like this is more between Rhea and Bianca and maybe whatever the Jade shit is, other than Iyo Sky is the world champion, and she should be getting a prominent role in this whole thing. But that's my only thing that kind of caught my eye from Raw. Is there anything else before we wrap up?
Not pretty much. I mean, like you said, that was one thing I was going to bring up as well, too. Seth Rollins came out there, cut a promo. Obviously, we got to wait till SmackDown to see how that plays out a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm mad they didn't follow up with the Roman coming off that cage match, because him coming back, that shit was fire.
I know, bro, you not the champion anymore. You don't need to work this part-time schedule. You need to show up to work. I'm sorry.
I understand, but you know the complications with Roman and just his health condition. And that's the only thing I kind of hate when fans do that, like, oh, he's only part-time. Well, there's reasons for that. But overall, he's been around for a while. Like, when you look up, he's been in WWE 10 plus years. Like, he's no spring chicken at this point. I don't think he's done by any stretch, but I just hate that part-time label on Roman Reigns specifically. Yeah. I've always hated that because fans use that to combat how good he is, and it's just like, y'all got to give him his respect.
No,
bro.
I still give him his respect. He's very good, but like I said, I know you have a health issue going on right now. Some days are good, some days are bad, but at the same time, like, you need to have him on these big shows like this.
I agree, at least in a promo capacity.
Somewhere.
I definitely agree, but they gonna build on that. We already know Paul Heyman is involved now. He beat the fuck out of CM Punk for touching Paul Heyman. Like, it's gonna get real, and I'm looking forward to their triple threat match, which kind of seems like it's a world title match without the world title. Like, that might be a bigger match than the world title match itself if they don't correct this Cody, John Cena, Rock thing that they got going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an episode, man. We get ready to get up out of here. Once again, shout out to everybody that's tapped in with us. We appreciate the support.
Appreciate you.
Leave comments in the chat, bro, if y'all want us to discuss a specific topic. We will try to work that into the show, and just like and subscribe to Woodward Sports. Become a member. You will get the exclusive episodes when they drop. But that's the episode, man. JB, KG.
It was a lot, man. It was fire.
Yeah, no, not bad for a slow news week, huh?
I know,
but
right?
hey, KG, JB, Woodward Ringside. Till next week, man. Appreciate you.